Welcome to 15 Minute Theatre, the only review show that squeezes a whole production into 900 seconds. The date is Tuesday the 3rd of September 2019, and we've just been to see The Worst Witch. Open the house. Hello, Victoria.
Hello, James.
How are you?
Oh, why can't I not extend your name? Jim Bobble Lobble Lobble.
That works.
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. Happy autumn.
Happy autumn. Happy autumn.
I love autumn.
I love autumn, but I don't really feel like we've had a summer. So
We've had loads of summer. Anyway, enough. I'm done with the summer. I'm all about the autumn.
Okay, great.
Talking of autumn, we went to see a kind of autumnal play.
Yes.
Shall I tell you what we went to see?
Please, because I have no idea.
We went to see The Worst Witch. I'll give you a little fact file about it, if that's okay.
I wish you would.
It's adapted from the probably one of the books or two of the books, but the author, Jill Murphy, directed by Teresa Hoskins. Or Hoskins.
Every week, James writes down the names and then he can't read his own writing.
The movement was by Beverly Norris Edwards.
Well done.
Shout out to Norris there.
Yep, hello Norris.
Designer Simon Draw.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you the notable actors now.
Should I say that Norris is a friend of ours from university?
No, don't say that.
Okay, fine. Just ignore that.
Yeah, please do. Okay, so here's the cast. Ethel was played by Rosie Abraham. Mildred Danielle Bird. Miss Bat, musician, Molly Grace Cutler. Fenella, Meg Forgan. Miss
You
Hargrove,
can't even read it when it's printed
Rachel
on the screen.
Heaton. Maud Rebecca Killick. Drusilla Emma Lau. Miss Drill, Megan Leigh Mason. Agatha, Polly Lister. I don't understand. Well, I do understand. Griselda, Lauren Redding, and Enid Consuela Roll.
Okay.
That's hard work. It's running until the 8th of September 2019, and it's about 2 hours and 5 minutes or so.
Yes.
Oh, I'm exhausted. Can you give me the synopsis, Vicky, please?
The synopsis is Mildred Hubble arrives at an academy for witches, and she thought she was actually going to normal school and she shouldn't really be there. And she starts the witch lessons, but she's a bit rubbish at them. And some things happen. The plot thickens. There's a dastardly plot.
Okay, so disclaimer here.
Yeah.
We are fans of the 1980s made-for-TV film.
Yeah.
Starring Tim Curry and that woman from that girl from The Craft.
Oh, Firuza Boo.
Now you see how it is. And we kind of watch it more or less every year, don't we, around Halloween?
Yeah.
It's kind of a thing for us.
I mean, it's not aged well, but we still like it.
Not at all. So I went with kind of not quite sure. Obviously, we're in post Harry Potter era and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant.
It was brilliant. It was real light relief, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on the money. I'm going to say that phrase. The script, perfect.
Yeah. I think what they did really well is at the start they said, we're going to perform a play for you that one of our students has written. So because they did it in the context of they were putting on a play, it was very clever in that they could get away with a lot of things. They didn't need to use a lot of smoke and mirrors and things.
And they're competing with something called Harry Potter.
Yes.
We know this. So instead of trying to compete with the kind of massive world that's created, they destroyed that quite early on by saying, I think, was it Mildred who went in and said, could you tell me which one's the evil house? And the head teacher went, we don't have an evil house. That would be silly, dear.
Yeah.
Which
there were a
brilliant.
few Harry Potter references, weren't there?
Yeah, but not too many that it was distracting, but enough to make it its own thing.
Yeah.
What do you think of the staging?
Well, as I said before, because they said it was a play, the staging was quite simple. They had a good sort of set which was basically like a metal structure, and there was a bed on it, and one bit that was used as an office, and one bit that housed the musicians, and so it was quite simple, but it was really effectively used.
They didn't rely on smoke and mirrors at all, did they?
I think I've already said that.
Oh,
yeah.
did you?
Yeah.
So when we saw the cats, there were obviously puppets and stuff like that. In fact, even at one point, someone made a point and said, "It's a puppet."
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's a sock or something. It's quite funny. I thought the dance choreography pieces were good.
Yeah, they were quite simple, but they were well done.
Yeah, I mean, I just loved this. I loved all of it.
Yeah, the music. I mean, there weren't loads of songs in it, but there were a good few songs, and they were all really good, fun.
The circle really stood out for me, and they came back to that at the end, which I thought was nice.
Yeah.
But also, they made great use of the band. You know, the band were used for like incidental music at a few points.
Yeah, and the two main, and all the band members also played parts in it as well. Yeah, it was really good.
Okay, so any stand-up performances for you?
Yeah, there's one which I think you'll agree with, which is the headmistress.
Yes,
she is absolutely brilliant. And
she also played her evil twin, didn't she?
Yeah, I thought they were all really good. I really liked...
Ethel stood out for me. I really liked Ethel.
She was good. Mildred was good. I thought Miss Bat, who played Miss Bat, the teacher, and one of the musicians, was very good.
There wasn't a weak person in it. No. All lovely. And also, hats off to some of the performers. There was a whole bit where they were flying on broomsticks at Halloween.
Yeah.
And they were up on like kind of high wires, would you say? What would you call it?
They were like sort of almost trapezes.
Yes, but there was no safety net included, or
they didn't have any wires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was quite impressive.
That was good, yeah.
Was there anything you didn't like?
No.
Nothing at all?
No. What didn't you like?
No, I liked it all.
Okay, fine then.
Okay, so lighting and special effects. They didn't use a lot, did they?
No,
let's be honest.
They didn't use a lot. There was a good bit with the set when later on, I don't really want to spoil the plot. Well, no one's going to see it, are they?
Anyway.
There was some evilness, and the set sort of all went and became.
And I like the effect
collapsed
with the mirror.
Yeah, they had someone trapped in a mirror.
But also, I love the technique they used. It's not really an effect, but when they transformed people into... Someone got turned into a pig, someone got turned into a snail, and they kind of basically used a little bit of costume.
It was all quite simple, wasn't it? But they got away with it because they said, "This is a play we're putting on for you."
Yeah.
So clever.
Loved it. All right, stand that moment.
Oh, gosh. Oh, the evil twin had a really good song that I really enjoyed.
I really like the evil twin when she did the song where she played both parts at the same time.
Yeah.
Half the costume was one, half it was the other.
Yeah.
I love the circle.
Yeah.
But there's so many good bits. And Ethel, looked so much about Ethel's character.
She was quite evil, wasn't she?
Yeah, brilliant. Right, well, should we take a break and then we'll come back and score it?
Sure, I'm going to eat some of these crisps you've laid out for me.
Please do.
So kind.
Okay, so I've got a little extra treat that I'm going to slide into our podcast. I am here with my very good friend, Mr. Roman.
Hello.
Hello, Roman. How are you?
I'm great.
And Roman, how old are you?
I'm 9 years old.
And you went to see The Worst Witch yesterday?
Yes.
What did you think?
I thought it was really, funny. It was a great show. I liked the part where they were on broomsticks and they were doing lots of acrobatics. I thought that was really funny.
Who was your favourite characters? Did you like Ethel Hallow?
Yeah, kind of. She was like at the end of the first part, she was like, just stuff yourself with ice cream, and walked off stage.
Yeah, she was quite funny, wasn't she? I liked her a lot. What about the woman who played the headmistress and evil Aggie?
Oh, Agatha was really funny. While they were talking, Agatha and Miss cackled. she was very shouty and it was.
Was it really that funny?
Yes. It's very funny.
Was there anything you didn't like?
No.
You liked it all?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
And if you were going to score it out of 10, what would you give it?
8. It's an 8.5.
8.5 out of 10. Are you a big Harry Potter fan?
Yes.
So are you now a big Worst Witch fan, or are you still firmly in the Harry Potter camp?
Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for being on the podcast, and hopefully you'll get you out seeing some more theatre soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, so we're back, and we're going to talk about audience antics. Now, you had a problem, didn't you?
What was my problem?
When you were trying to get in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This is not audience antics. I had a glass water bottle, which is covered in silicone. I take it everywhere, and I normally pretend it's plastic.
Not covered in silicone, it's got a silicone cover.
It's got a silicone cover.
It's not covered in silicone.
Well, it's got a silicone cover.
If it's covered in silicone, it'll have silicone all over it.
It's got a silicone cover,
Well,
therefore it's covered in silicone.
No.
Whatevs, Jim
Okay.
Bobs, whatevs. This could go on for the rest of the night. Okay. So they took it off me.
They did. You were really upset.
I was a bit annoyed.
You were annoyed. I think you were more annoyed because they put it in that plastic box.
Yeah, and I said, am I going to have some free water because you've taken my water off? And they're like, yeah, there's some water in there. And the cups were so tiny. I thought, this is not going to last me for a minute, let alone a performance.
But luckily you had 2 large glasses of wine, which kind of...
Well, I was totally fine, wasn't I?
All right, yeah, and it was a lovely audience. We had a lovely family sat in front of us.
Yeah, there were loads of kids, weren't there?
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
So I like that very much. And also, a little shout out, there was a woman at the front of the circle where we were sat who did a shout out during the end of the second act.
Yeah,
and
I
thought she asked me for a lighter at the end of the show, and we got talking, and she said she was a big fan of the film. And if you're listening, I hope you enjoy the podcast.
One of us.
Right, shall we score it?
Yeah.
Okay, so performances. Vicky, out of 10, if you please.
I'm going to give it a 9.
I am also giving it a 9. Great performances there.
Yeah.
Staging and technical, I am going to give it a 6 because there wasn't a lot to be said about that, really.
Yeah, but I think what they did was really good, so I'm going to go for a 7.
All right. Narrative and plot. Now, I was really pleased that it kind of followed the story of the film more or less. So it gets an 8 for me for that reason.
Yeah, I'd go an 8 as well.
Okay. Originality, not so original. I'll give it a... Oh, no, hold
the way
on.
they
It was
staged
very
it was
original.
really good.
I'll give it a 9. It was very original.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 9 as well.
Right, choreography.
A 7.
It gets a 6 from me. Costume.
Well, I mean, they're just wearing school uniforms, essentially. Oh, no, but the evil twin was really good. I'm going to go for an 8.
Me too. Music.
I'm going to go for a 9.
Gets a 9 from me as well. And was it worth it? Gets a big fat 10 from me.
Yeah, I'd go for a 10 as well.
My goodness,
It's quite similar, aren't we?
We are similar, but different.
Same, but different.
Okay, so while I add up the scores, would you like to tell the listener... a quick disclaimer here. Well, we did promise we were going to see a few other things, but... a couple we didn't get round to, and it's been so long since we saw the last ones that we thought we'd just start again. So
yeah,
there
I
you
can't
go.
remember what the last one was.
No, me neither.
What are we going to see next? I feel like we haven't got anything booked in for ages. Oh yeah, the next thing we've got booked in is Death of a Salesman, but it's not till the end of November, so I'm pretty sure that something's going to crop up.
Oh, I think
between then. But it's a transfer of a very successful play.
Who's it by, Vicky?
Oh, who wrote Death of a Salesman? Arthur Miller, of course it was. Of course it was. You done your sums yet?
Not yet.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Find my number of categories.
This is a special look behind the magic as James tells you how he does his incredible maths. Or math, as they say in the Americas. No. Done it?
I have.
That was a loud clomp.
Okay, so It gets, I don't know why I'm hiding it from you, it gets a star rating of 4.5, which is a high score indeed.
Okay.
And it puts it level pegging with Cypress Avenue,
which was excellent.
Which is basically joint 5th. So that's right at the top of the leaderboard, really.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Impressive stuff.
Yeah.
Just above All About Eve, which we loved.
Yeah.
And just below A Very, Very Dark Matter, which again, I loved. I think I loved it a bit more than you.
Yeah, you did love it more than me.
Well, you've got bad taste. Oh, thank goodness, that was awkward. But the theatre bell's going. So, Vicky.
Yes.
That means we're out of time.
Well, that is a shame, isn't it?
Well, I hope it's not going to be till November till we see each other again.
Well, I think it's fine I said October. But something will happen again. Something will happen.
Well, listen, the curtain's down, the theatre's dark, and that was 15-minute theatre. So good night.
Good night.
If you're brave enough to have your theatre production reviewed, please contact us at 15minutetheatre@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter and please rate and review us on iTunes. Thanks for listening.